Hello, my beautiful friends. This is going to be a twin flame check-in. I'm going to just share a little spiel on my experience the last 12 hours, but I will put a timestamp below if you do not wish to listen to me. So I do realize that these videos where I'm on camera don't get as many views, and I think it's just a different energy, obviously, but I feel they are vital to myself and to my subscribers because I've been sharing a lot of my own personal stories. So before I start, I just want to say that I've been, in regards to my twin and my twin flame journey, I've been in a really good neutral place for a while now. You know, I did have my gallbladder surgery about a month ago, and that kind of put a lot into perspective. But what really helped me was to disengage from communication with my twin, as that's been a very hard thing for me. And that has worked wonders. And so it may not seem like it, but especially for you guys that have been on this journey for a while, it's really crucial and really integral to everything for you to not have 3D communication if it is not, if it is just setting you back, okay? And I want to honestly ask you guys, like, what are you doing healthy for yourself on a daily basis? Even if it's just one thing, what are you doing healthy for yourself? Because you have to be doing healthy things for yourself. That's the number one point of this journey, okay? So, for me right now, I'm taking an astrology course, which I'm super excited about because I'm going to be able to start incorporating more of that into my readings. I do my meditations. I do, what do I do? Anyways, I do a lot of different things throughout the day, but I'm also gonna start like doing more like meal prepping and stuff. I like paid to work with this nutritionist. Anyways, so all those things raise your vibration, help this journey. Everything you do for yourself helps this journey. But so what I wanted to bring up, and the other thing, the two themes that just keep coming up for me are codependency on this journey and well, actually words and like how we're speaking even about our journey. I feel like that's been something I've really had to learn about, because however you share, you're manifesting whatever words you use and stuff like that. And a lot of times, a lot of us come into this journey and we're very, very codependent, and we have a lot of codependent relationships. And as we grow on this journey, those shift, but a lot of times the people around us don't shift. And so if we're codependent and people engage with us and they have even like certain ways of codependently speaking, they can easily pull us back into that energy. And it's okay to be in hermit mode on this journey. It's okay to protect your energy and to protect yourself, okay? But what I wanted to talk about was, so I have been like disengaging a lot. Last night I happened to, and I'm gonna just share this just because I think it's important point. So last night I happened to come across somehow, because I haven't even been on Facebook, but I signed on to do the nutrition stuff, to do healthy things, to do this freedom technique thing that I was doing, to do workshops, but I really struggle because I don't feel like Facebook is a good energy. But I've met a lot of my subscribers through Facebook. I just personally don't care for it that much. But so I did get back on. And, of course, curiosity got me, and I looked at my twin's name, and he had made his stuff, like, private and you know what, if he's watching and he reacts to this, then that's great, because I have confirmation that you're watching my channel, which I honestly don't believe he does, but if he does, I don't care if he hears this, because then I'll know that he's watching. So I noticed that he posted something about, like for a mortgage company, like a real estate company. And he wrote we and our and us. And so the reason I'm bringing this up is because, it's funny because the last time I engaged with him, that was a significant thing I noticed, was that he was no longer an I or a me, it was us. It was him and his karmic, whatever. I don't really even like that word that much, but, I felt like, you know, he had solidified this unit. So I guess a little bit about my story is that I was involved with my twin in 2017. We were neighbors, and he was not wanting to commit, and he ended up developing a relationship with somebody as we were involved I never knew until I knew until they were like out in the open official. And it brought up a lot of betrayal, deception, powerlessness in me. It just mirrored a lot of my wounds or whatever. But so this was 2017, and then a lot of things have happened since then, but he's still with that same person. And but there was a lot of back and forth, like with him expressing he wasn't really sure about their relationship. I mean, he came over, we've been in communication on levels in the last few years. And but this last time we were communicating, he was very, it was like he finally seemed like he turned the corner and he made a decision that he was going to stick with this person. And so I saw this thing for like real estate, this like review. And it's so funny because it was on September 16th, which is my dad's birthday, which I had a very close friend throughout this whole journey. And that day was like our karmic day, 9/16. It's so weird. And so also I've been seeing 1133 a lot. And I've been like thinking, why am I seeing that? And then yesterday I did a reading, and it was 1133. And anyway, so I felt like something was going to happen yesterday. So I saw his post for looking for real estate, which is so funny because in the last 6 weeks, I've been really thinking about, like, I left the city that, my twin is in, and I've been really trying to think about where I want to move and buying a house. And I've been on Zillow constantly looking at homes. And I've always kind of like lived alone and been independent, but in the last couple years since my twin situation, I've had this big fear when it comes to like moving and living somewhere by myself, which was what I've been doing. I'm 36 since I'm like 20 years old. It just wore on me. I just had a lot of experiences. I had a lot of illness. I had a lot of emergencies, and I was living alone, and I felt very stranded. Like there was one time when I was living next to my twin, and but this was when he already got with her, the karmic, and I had an emergency, and I left my phone in a lift, and it was like this night of like an ice storm, and I lived in this home that I was renting a room in this older woman's home, and there was like no AC. It was like an old home, and I didn't have a phone, and I had to be at work the next day, and I was freaking out, but I couldn't walk outside, like even to my twin's house, even if I wanted to, which I wouldn't have because the roads were covered in ice. And anyway, so this is how I talk, guys. Like when I'm North Node Gemini, so I could get chatty. So let me just try to keep it succinct. But so my fear is living alone, and I've been really lately thinking like I want a house, but I don't want a house, I want a home, and that involves like me with someone else and a family, and it's always been a fear of mine. And so it's funny that my twin, of all things, he wasn't posting about engagement or children, he was posting something about a home. And so, but I like, it's so weird because I saw that and I'm like, the old me would have just felt every cell like boiling. And I just had like a familiar response of like, because my thing is like on Mars and Libra in the 9th house, which is, I am an extreme fighter for justice. And to me, I still haven't like gotten to that piece yet where he's allowed to like experience everything, even regardless of what happened between us. So there's that feeling of like, there's no justice here. Like I'm now having to buy a home. Anyways, that victim mentality has to go, guys. Like, in this whole journey, because we are actually the ones that are blessed to be able to face things. So but anyways, so that seeing that kind of triggered a little bit in me, but it didn't make me completely unraveled or anything like that. In the past I would actually be messaging him in like an angry way, like but it did trigger a dream, which was very interesting. So I had this dream that him and the karmic got engaged, and we were at an event, and I was standing in between them, and they both were feeling like really sorry for me, and like it's almost like they were and they were actually being like really sensitive to me. And he was like, it's like they were feeling sorry for me, which was making me so angry in the dream. A big thing for me in this journey has been my jealousy with her. I'm Scorpio Venus, I'm Scorpio Moon. Jealousy is a huge thing for me when it comes to my love interests. So when it comes to anything love related, it's like a default emotion for me. Well, I wouldn't say it's a default emotion, because when I'm with somebody and they're choosing me, I'm pretty confident, but obviously when someone has not chosen me anyways. So, but the dream, it's like, and this has been the whole journey, it's like, I'm more bothered by her than him. And when I see her face, like I did in the dream, and it felt so real. It's like she represents everything I feel like I wasn't good enough for. And it comes back to a lack of feeling of worthy in me, that I wasn't worthy to have, the things that she got out of him. From what I see, I've created this story that she was worthy enough to get the guy, to now be building a life with him, to now have history with him. I'm very envious of people who have history, and that's why it's really hard for me to do like online dating and stuff, because I don't like starting fresh. I'm very like the past. I'm 12th house sun, so like I'm constantly thinking about the past and people from the past. And so that to me is huge, the fact that they have history, the fact that they actually even had history before I met my twin, which I had a resentment for, because I felt like I was pulled into a dynamic where he already had someone that he knew, and it's like, why did you even bother with me if you knew the whole time that you were maybe going to pursue a relationship with her? That was a big hang up of mine. Anyways, but this dream just felt sort of, in the moment, it was like so traumatizing, because I could see her face, and she's like a representation of me feeling not good enough. She's my mirror of insecurity. And he always tells me, you're so insecure. And it's like, no, you've literally just brought up all my insecurity with your choices with this situation. And that's what a twin does, right? But the thing I wanted to talk about too is that and I just had this conversation with another reader last night, it is no coincidence that they were maybe looking for a house while I've been house hunting, because the twins tend to mirror our biggest fears, and they show us, but it's interesting, because when I saw that, I started thinking, but you know what, like, actually, because I'm the one that has the benefit, because he is not happy in his relationship, and I just know this. I just intuitively know this. And it's exciting for me to think about moving wherever and buying a house, because I am not shackled by any situation that is keeping me in a feeling of being dead and a low vibration. And so nothing is what it seems, okay? But everything that we're seeing with them is just for us to focus back on ourselves. So I just want to make that very clear to you guys. Like, whenever we're talking about them, it's not about them, it's about us, because our outward world is a projection of what's going on inside of us. And so there's no like, even him choosing her, and even all of that, when you give your power away and you say like, it's all them, it's really not, it's all coming from us. And even when we were in love with them and it was romantic, it was also coming from us. So like, just know that we create our own world. It's all coming from within. And the point of that is so we don't feel so powerless. So we actually empower ourselves to know that we create our own reality, okay? So with that all being said, I know a lot of you guys, when I share, you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, and blah, blah, blah. But I'm not sharing for any, like, I know you guys are empaths and you might feel my pain, but I'm really trying to help you guys and to guide you and to convey that even if there is a flare of like victimhood, this is something I'm conscious of. This is something that's not where I want to be. It's not the vibration I want to stay in. And we all have to try to shift out of that. And then that dissolves the anger as well. It's not like, oh my God, he was such a jerk that he did this and that. It's like, if I stay in that place of anger, I disempower myself and I keep this thread. That's the other thing I want to talk about For so long, I feel my thread with my twin was my anger. And it was the only thing I really had left with him. I didn't even feel romantic feelings towards him anymore. That thread is not helping us. That anger, that feeling of whatever they did, okay? So that keeps you tied to them, and it actually keeps them more in control. So, all right, I'm starting this at, this is like, I just cut off my video, so this is going to be at 5:37. All right, let's see what, you know what, I'm going to not start with this deck. I'm going to start with this deck. Let's see what's going on with the Divine Masculine here. What's up with them? What's the real deal here? I'm using the Dark Night of the Soul Tarot, so it is all very much twisted towards the dark aspects, but got Page of Pentacles, fruitless. I pulled this in the last reading, and I was saying that their endeavors are fruitless. Even whatever it seems like abundance is coming their way, they're not in an abundant place, okay? Eight of Decay, abandoned ship. Mind games, Page of Swords, but that's also, you know, watching, you know, keeping an eye. Strength, Caged Beast. Eight of Torment, Entanglement. I got a lot here. Ace of Rage, which is Ace of Wands, Inferno. Ace of Torment, Ace of Swords, Justice, Corruption, and Five of Wands, Five of Rage, Pyromaniac. Okay, there's a lot here. This is a lot to unpack here. So I feel like they're playing like they're playing with fire. They're gonna get burned, okay? But I feel like a lot of, you know, this smoke and mirrors, it's like exactly what I said. It's not what it seems. A lot of it is for show. A lot of it is also them having tried to convince themselves that this is the right path. They're at war with themselves about it. But there's a lot of dynamics in their life. So if you're feeling powerless, if you're feeling in a victim mentality, it's because you're mirroring them. And I feel like they feel very entangled. They're so entangled that they actually can't, at this point, see clearly. So they're making decisions based out of this entanglement. And there's still karma at play here. There's still, you know, things that are twisted and corrupted here. And so that's also preventing them from seeing clearly with these decisions that they're making. They're not, this Strength is very interesting, Caged Beast. It takes a lot of energy for them to stay in this path. It's almost like more effortful to stay here, to try to avoid what they really want. And it's almost like, you know, with like what I was talking about with my twin, we're buying a house. It's like he's like a caged beast, and he almost feels like, oh, well, maybe if I like really go through with all the steps of like commitment, then like that desire within me, that pyromaniac, that fire that I have for my feminine, and that fire that is like burning me up inside will go away. Maybe if I force myself to be stable. It's kind of like crash dieting, like people who just restrict themselves so much, like thinking like they're starving the beast in a way, but eventually they end up binging because they're like so what's the word, restricted. They're so those desires don't go away. So it's they play mind games with themselves. They're like, if I can just do this, if I could take all these steps, then I'll be this person. And they're trying to fix who they are on the inside with changing things on the outside. And also a lot of this is because they are blinded by this like karmic energy too. So a part of them can't even see that that's what they're doing at all. So I feel like they're like, well, let me just abandon this ship. Let me abandon this connection. Let me just abandon these desires and they'll go away. But like I said, they're like, this fire is not going to go away. This fire within them. We've got the Ace of Rage, the Inferno, and the Pyromaniac. So this fire for the feminine, for their actual desires, are still pretty intense here. Okay, let's get one last card from this deck to clarify. Got 3. I guess I'll take them. 10 of Rage, Boiling Point, Violence, and Scorned. Okay. So Dictator of Rage, which is King of Wands. These are all rage. A lot of rage. Siren of Rage, Queen of Wands, Scorned, and 10 of Rage, Boiling Point. Now I'm tapping in for the masculine. It's interesting because in my dream and when I woke up, I texted my friend and said when my masculine and his girlfriend were like coddling me because they felt bad for me because they knew they had gotten engaged, I was boiling. That could be how they feel, okay? It's like, it's gonna bubble over, it's gonna bubble up. They also might have a fear that, so I feel that a lot of times my masculine does things to test me, to make sure that he still has the freedom to do what he wants. And so it's like he's like a little child that's like, what can I get away with? And like, because in the past I have reacted to him, and he's almost like testing to see, does he have the freedom that he needs? Which I don't think it's because he's testing to see if I will give him that freedom. I think it's this, he's not in touch with the fact that that idea that he's being controlled and he doesn't have freedom is a projection of his own fears. It's not me. It was a very unique situation because I was his neighbor and I witnessed a lot of things and I did react. And because I was like physically infringing on his boundaries, I was a perfect projection for that fear. But he created that, right? Just like I create my fears. And his fear is, funny enough, is entanglement. But for some reason, he feels it's safer with the karmic because there's not really an emotional expectation there. She may not even put those restrictions on him, and it makes him feel like safer. But what's interesting, and this is why you guys have to remove yourself from the situation, is that these masculines have to understand that this is coming from within them, just like we have to. And that if I disappear and he no longer feels me infringing on his freedom, this will come up again in some other avenue in his life because it's not me, it's coming from him. And so that's why you guys need to remove yourself so they see this is their own mirror back to them. It's not the feminine that did this to them. And so it's like you have to remove yourself so they could see clearly, okay? Because they can't see clearly with the feminine there. They have to come to that realization that it's not you. And so this fear that he has of like a scorned woman, like getting mad because he's doing what he wants and reaching her boiling point is all coming from within him, okay? But I also feel I'm mirroring back to him something he feels. So even if he does this whole settle down, I'm going to be with her, I'm going to get a house, let them reach their boiling point without me because I don't want to be blamed anymore for his shit, okay? And just like he doesn't deserve to be blamed for my shit, I don't deserve to be blamed for his shit. So, because we're all mirrors, all right? So let's get some, I'm serving it to you the real deal today. Awakened awareness. That's what I'm talking about. Furred and feathered friends. Yeah. This is about, to me, that our people on the outside of us are meant to show us who we are, even if they're animals, I guess. They're meant to awaken us, these things in our life, these players in our life, okay? So, but this could also be very literal. The numbers here are 17 and 27, which are interesting. I want to read from the book about the furred and feathered friends, what it says. Ethical consumption, making a difference through our food choices, caring for all beings, animals, environmental awareness, doing the best we can. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. I was just talking about freedom. And may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. Look at how you choose to nourish your physical body and your ethics and reasoning surrounding your food choices. Your body and energy will thank you for. This card signifies strong animal energies. That can mean working more closely with an animal spirit guide. Okay. And then we have Beyond the veil, clearing the distortion and illusion, awareness of what's running us subconsciously, communing with our God force. That's what I'm talking about. Beyond the veil. This card is a reminder to wake up. There are many levels, stages of awakening. There is no on-off switch. You just have to trust that whatever's happening in the masculine's life, even if it on the 3D seems very traumatizing for you, it is there for his awakening. And like I have just been having this thought lately, that if nothing awakens my masculine, if everything just goes smoothly for him, then he's not my masculine, because then he's not reaching the level of awareness that I've had to. And so that's fine, okay? Because lately I don't even have an attachment to union anyway. And I don't think I have for a while. I think I was just more frustrated because he wouldn't awaken. And that's also on me to let go of the control, that it's up to me to make him awaken. That's also mirroring back to me an issue with control and forcing someone to see something that they're not ready to see. Okay? And that's where I need to work on myself. So like I keep saying, guys, it all comes back to you. All right, so I want to pull some, when I saw that Awaken card, I want to pull some from Mystic Moon Oracle and see where's the masculine at right now. I do feel like the things and the choices he's making are going to lead to his awakening. Wow. We do have Twin Flame, okay. We do have Numbing, okay. So he is numbing himself to the Twin Flame journey, okay. We have Refocus. And I feel this is what the feminine's done. I feel the masculine is numbing, but the feminine is very focused on productive things, which is amazing. And we have Solitude. Yep, this is a healthy place to be. No shame in that game. Crossroads. Look at this, guys. Victim. This is something I feel both twins need to evaluate, where they play that, what their words convey, and change. Metamorphosis. So a lot of these things are happening. These crossroads, these big events, we have to view them as positive, even if they seem to us very traumatizing, because they are helping shift the energy. They are creating change. They are creating a metamorphosis. Okay? All right. Let's see. Divine Feminine, what should you do? That's the deck I'm going to use, my deck. You know, did I even, oh, okay, I did use tarot. I actually meant to start this reading off with this tarot deck, and I didn't even do that, but, okay, let's just see. Divine Feminine, what should you do? Give it space. This is what I've been saying. And this could be not just your masculine, but everything in your life to get the clarity you need, okay? Aries, we have Mars in retrograde here, so just be aware of that, how that is still affecting us, okay? Could be an Aries that you're dealing with, or you're an Aries. Forgive yourself, Virgo, Pisces, Capricorn. These are literally all the signs of my journey. So we've got Capricorn, Pisces, Virgo, Aries. Forgive yourself. Give it space. Allow the past to be in the past. Let sleeping dogs rest is the feeling I'm getting, okay? Sagittarius. This is strange. Earth signs. Okay, so these could all be very significant to you guys. All right, these are just what's coming up. Okay, so I want to end, well, I wanted to pull a couple of pearls of wisdom and then end with a mystical shaman oracle. So what are the pearls of wisdom here? Self-reliance. Everyone's viewpoint is based on the lens through which they view themselves in the world. You don't always need to seek advice, seek within. This is a huge part of the journey, is self-reliance. Going within, not always having to feel like you need other people in any regard, okay? This is a huge part of the Divine Feminine journey. Okay, so let's get a mystical shaman oracle card to end this reading. Water. Let it flow, let it go. Emotions. 61, okay? Cleansing, purifying, drinking water, okay? Let's see what it says here. When water arrives, you're invited to watch your emotions. Know they are going to be changeable and do not settle on a conclusion at this time. If you feel joy, feel that fully. If you feel sad, allow sadness to move through you. Water invites you to see the ebb and flow of events and trust you could ride the wave of opportunity when it arises. This is a time for cleansing unwanted energy and sticky feelings. Consider this: what water does to the flesh, it does in sacred ritual to now is a time that is pregnant with potential for you. Carl Jung talked about the maternal womb-like significance of water as a universal symbol. Water represents the potentiality of existence. It precedes and sustains every creation. Make way for the process, you can expect it. That's the other thing, is that whatever emotions, even insecurities or things being mirrored back to you, to start observing them as emotions, as things, that stories you've convinced yourself of, but they're not you. They're not the essence of you. They're a pattern that you have continuously reinforced, and that's a reality that you can choose to believe or choose to ignore. It's an entity outside of you, these emotional experiences, and that's when you can start mastering your emotions, I feel, when you've really gotten to a very healthy point on this journey and you could observe them like you're viewing them from the outside. Remembrance, ancestors, and a lot of this is ancestral stuff that's been passed down from you, so it's not your fault. It's pattern stuff that's been reinforced and given. It's like water molecules absorb like the energy, so it's like it's an energy that's been absorbed for a very long time and lifetimes before you. So just know that it's not you. It's something that you have to, if you're going to break the cycle, you have to do a lot of work to change the ancestry line here. And we've got air. This is another element, imagination. So this is to me about using your thoughts to manifest different things, to manifest a different reality, and changing that, breaking the cycle. All right, guys, so that's your reading. I kind of took it from the masculine to you guys, but that's what I like doing. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.